On top of the list of things that are currently being discussed in the country is the impeachment of the Deputy President of the Republic of Kenya, Rigathi Gachagua. Now, the DCI have currently launched an investigation and they have brought in the charges against Gachagua and his friends. Remember, not only the DCI, the National Assembly of Kenya have signed the impeachment motion and they are going to table it in the National Assembly. But on what basis will Gachagua now be implicated that he has misused his connection and office as the Deputy President of the Republic of Kenya? On this video, I am going to inform you of how Rigathi Gachagua's son, Keith Gachagua, will be the last nail that will be used to nail Gachagua and put him out of office. But before that, who is Keith Gachagua and how is he directly involved with the government? I shall remind you, people like Deputy President William Ruto, when he was the Deputy President, how they survived impeachment motion and being directly linked to corruption and mostly using their connection to bring in their families into the government is what kept him out of being impeached, because Ruto was clever and he never brought his family and link them direct to any government project, because that would be a nail on his coffin. But Gachagua made the mistake of allowing his son to be involved direct with the government of Kenya. Now, this is the profile of the few businesses owned by Rigathi Gachagua's son. Rigathi Gachagua's son, Keith Gachagua. Before the 2022 general election, Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua made his first public remarks regarding his family, where he said that he is a family man. According to Gachagua, the family, he said, was the basic unit of society and the nation. Gachagua disclosed about his two children, and the eldest of them is Keith Gachagua. Keith Ikino Gachagua, the politician's not the firstborn, he is the second-born son, is a physician who assists his father in managing the family business. Now, according to the Bizna Kenya, the doctor was among the top students in the 2010 Kenya Certificate of Secondary Education, KCSE. The Alliance School alumni was ranked 17th nationally with a mean grade of A plane of 86.9 points. After excelling in high school, Keith proceeded to the University of Nairobi, the UON, where he studied Bachelor of Medicine and Surgery. Are you getting the point until there? So this guy, Keith Gachagua, is not just your mere politician who just get in or just a mere son of a politician. He's an intelligent guy. Being number 17th nationally in KCSE is not a joke. That means he has brains. Now, according to the Daily Nation, Keith acquired the iconic treetop a few months ago, and the Outspan hotels, which were set to reopen a few months ago, and they reopened, charting a new era for the hospitality sector for him. Now, the Treetop Hotel is famed for witnessing Queen Elizabeth's accession to the throne in 72 years ago. It will also be a significant relic. It is also a significant relic of the Mau Mau movement in Nyeri. Keith explained that the establishment owns a significant part of Kenyan's history, including its liberation struggle that remained untold. Now, allow me to diverge into a scandal where Keith Gachagua was named in a scandal which involved the KEMSA. The KEMSA is one of the bodies that are involved with the MOH, the Minister of Health. And he was accused of swindling about an amount of 3.9 billion Kenyan shillings. Now, here is where it gets hot. Let's now dive into the scandal so that you will understand what I am speaking about. On April 27th, 2024, Dr. Keith Rigathi Gachagua, son of the deputy president, took over the ownership of the iconic Treetops hotels in Nyeri. The facility remained non-operational for at least 3 years since the COVID-19. But where did this money come from? All of a sudden, Gachagua was the deputy president of the Republic of Kenya, and this guy now starts buying hotels. In the year 2023, in May 2023, the Kenyan's Anti-Corruption Commission, KACC, led by the body of EACC, the Ethics Anti-Corruption Commission, launched an investigation to uncover irregularities in a 3.9 billion scandal involving the procurement of mosquito nets. President William Ruto then sacked several officials at the National Medical Supplies Authority following complaints of corruption and mismanagement. Although Gachagua'S son, Keith Gachagua, is a medical doctor, there was no evidence that he was involved in the scandal. Kenya has been grappling with a lot of things lately, and this is where the said scandal has come into light. The Keith Gachagua about 4 billion scandal. And this is where even the conversation about the impeachment of Gachagua started. This is where even the conversation about what is impeachment started. Gachagua made the mistake of involving his son directly with the business of the Republic of Kenya, which is a mistake that Ruto and Uhuru Kenyatta never made. And that is why there was no time that Ruto was directly called to answer to certain things where he used his position to connect or to put his people in the government and acquire tenders through them. But Gachagua'S son, Keith, was involved directly with that scandal, where his company was said to have been the one that got the tender. You know, a 3.9 billion tender, that means it's about 4 billion. And that is what we know. There are things that we don't know in regards to this corruption scandal and the amount of money that was used, stolen from that. You know, a net as a mosquito net tender is something that these people, most of them don't think Kenyans will follow, and they don't think that might even come to light and Kenyans might get involved in it. But Ruto's people, and most of them the members of parliament, are not asleep. All of them want a share of the cake, and they want a share of this company called Kenya. So they have people manning different bodies in the country, and one of them is the KEMSA. So they noted, and they were informed that Rigathi Gachagua'S son, Keith Ekinu, is a beneficiary of the KEMSA loot. And that is when even the first conversation about the impeachment of the deputy president began, and it was brought to the light. So right now, Gachagua thinks that these people, all they will bring to the table is about him going ahead to be involved in funding the Gen Z maandamano. But that is not the only thing. He will be implicated in the misuse of office and power, where he helped or facilitated his son to acquire the said tenders. Now, let me ask you a question. How does somebody, and you know they played a very foolish move hata wao. Hata kaa ni kuiba mnaibanga sometimes na mipango. Ndio unaambiangwa being book smart is not being street smart, kwa sababu how comes in less than a year, in less than 5 months umekuwa named in a scandal where you are being told umeiba 4 billion Kenyan shillings, and then a few months later you are acquiring a fleet of hotels, umenunua 5 hotels. How do you think the people will react? And this was not only made clear through blogs and all that. Muliona the member of parliament of Kapseret and a close ally to the presidency, that is Kipchumba Oscar Sudi, asking Gachagua the question, ulitoa wapi pesa ya kununua hizo hoteli 5, yet umekuwa in power for just a few months, that is 2 years or so. Tunaelewana? And the last thing that I will let you know is in regards to another scandal that has also come forward, where Gachagua has been implicated in another scandal by Oscar Sudi on what Sudi thinks Gachagua got involved in. Sudi asked this about 7 hours ago. Do you know what happened to the first LDPS who was fired over KEMS allegations? Do you know the main force behind the firing? We know it was because of the loot of the said 4 billion Kenyan shillings. Do you know who pushed for the release of poisoned sugar impounded at a Mombasa warehouse to the market to finish innocent Kenyans? That is what Sudi is trying to point out. Anajaribu kusema, these things, all of them, were facilitated by the deputy president. So, we have grounds that this man misused his office. Na kama ali misuse his office and he has no cover, kwa sababu Gachagua right now has no cover in the circles of the presidency. Yeye ako na wale MP wachache na governors ambao wanamuunga mkono, which means if this scandal ya kijana yake Keith Ikinu Gachagua ikibringiwa forward, that is the head of him and they are not going to spare him. How will he defend that? How will he prove that his son did not acquire those tenders? And how will he prove that kijana yake got the money legally ya kununua hizo hotels ambazo amenunua? Why wasn't he buying them before he got into power? Maswali ni mingi, na acha niwaambie, wakati wale ambao wapo serikalini wanataka kukumaliza na kumalizana na wewe kisiasa, they have every tool at their disposal to do so. And for Gachagua, they will bring the evidence against him which will be refutable. Nyayo kwa sasa, subscribe.